The society in which we live in is a society that we must be, we must have a different kind of mindset. The mind is the most important tool in the human analogy. And that mind tells you what to do and what not to do. That mind controls everything in every aspect of life. So as citizens, and as a country and as a government, we can decide to implement or put any laws in place. These laws can be broken when we have attitudinal change. These laws can be maintained, and this mindset can help us build the society in which we want. We cannot have a country that we think that laws are the only thing that can govern us. Yes, it can govern us, but until we have a change of mindset, that change of mindset will determine how these laws will be very effective or not. So all this while, all I've been saying is that Ghanaians need to have a change of mindset, an attitudinal change that will allow us to embrace transparency, that will allow us to be truthful to ourselves, that will allow us to have different kind of leadership, a leadership that is transparent, leadership that is dedicated, a leadership that is sincere, and a leadership that allows every Ghanaian to know I will not be corrupt. Once you believe in yourself and have that attitudinal change of not being corrupt, you can never be corrupt. But if you want to be corrupt with your mindset, they can put all the institutions in the world, you'll still be corrupt. So what we need now as a country is attitudinal change, mindset change, and behavioral change, ethical behavior. Ethical behavior gives us the opportunity to be able to manage this country well. We have gotten political freedom. Do we have economical freedom? Do we have the freedom of the mindset? Do we have the freedom of doing right things against doing wrong things? Until we know that and adapt that system, I tell you, we can have all the forums in the world. We can have all the legal framework in the world, the anti-corruption agencies in the world. And once we continue to have that bad mindset and not being patriotic citizens, I am telling you, we will not achieve any form of leverage in terms of corruption.
There is an adage which suggests that the head spoils first. So you are talking about the fact that you want to change the mindset of the people from the ground instead of changing it from the
No, from every level. I'm not changing it from the ground.
Okay.
I am saying that all of us.
People are saying that oftentimes politicians, you come that you say you want to be non-corrupt, and yet when you get to the app there, you don't even want to put yourself on the scale. How is yours going to be different?
Mine is transparency and engagement of leadership and everyone. When you begin to be an example of a non-corrupt leader, every other person will follow. When you preach transparency, when you preach accountability, when you preach sincerity and honesty, the leaders will follow you. But when you don't preach it and you don't do it, then the leaders will become corrupt. So change of mindset is engaging the society, engaging the Ghanaian citizens, telling them what you are as a president, what you are doing with their money every 3 months, every 6 months. You are giving them periodic information of their resources, where it is going, a proper state of the nation. They will begin to change their mindset. They will begin to change their thinking. They will follow you, and they will now understand that corruption destroyed the country. They will now corruption is why we are so poor. They will now understand corruption is because of mismanagement. And when they are able to come out of it, you will have a better country. It's just like a family. If you engage your children on every day and talk to them, they'll become good and obedient children. When you leave them to their fate, they'll become whatever they want to be. So we need to begin to understand that one leader can change the entire Ghana once he is transparent, sincere, and then honest with the citizens and their resources and wealth. Because everything starts from the top. Once you have a right president and a right leader, all of you will change your mindset.
So you are throwing a challenge that you will be imprisoned when you win power.
I will imprison myself, not I'll be imprisoned.
Okay.
I will first sleep in the prison the first day I become president. This is a signal to tell every Ghanaian that be prepared, that under my leadership, if you become corrupt, whether my family, my sister, my brother, you will not be spared. I will change your sleeping place, your entire sleeping place. We must be serious. We must begin to do things the right way. People must be seeing that this country, the president himself is working and can never be corrupt.
All right.
Thank
so,
you.
Sir, finally, if you can touch on the data issue.
The national data system.
Yes.
You see, it is very easy to control corruption with data. But all this while people have been talking about properties of Ghanaians and all these things and Iyuku and finding everybody's asset. When you have a national data system, what a national data system does is that it takes information of your biometrics, your property, your family, your income, your resources, your wealth, your blood sample, every information about you. So every Ghanaian citizen in Ghana, his data is being taken. So for instance, we know your phone number. Your phone number is unique, and it will give us your date of birth, where you work, the salary you get, the amount of money you get, the kind of job you do, the number of cars you have, the number of properties you have, the number of resources, the bank accounts, even your bank accounts is captured. So this data allow what is called a policing economy, where every Ghanaian data is captured under the national data system. So nobody in Ghana can be there without we knowing who the person is, where he was. Even your blood sample is taken. In case of disaster, we are able to know blood group A, the number of people who are in blood group A, the number of people who are in blood group B or AA and everything. This data system will allow us to fight corruption zero, because nobody will be able to have any property, acquire any property illegally anymore, because every property is captured under the national data system and is owned by somebody. Every bank account of every Ghanaian citizen is captured, so no transfer will be done that we don't know where that money is coming from. No resources will be taken away from the government without we know who is doing that, and no procurement can be done without we knowing your data and your information. So anybody cannot just be anybody in this country. We have the data that controls everyone. So with a proper data system in this country, corruption will be 0.0007, and nobody can be corrupt. It is impossible. So let us not be talking about assets. With a data system, your asset is captured. With a national data system, everybody's asset is captured. Every car that is in Ghana is registered under the name of somebody. Every household is registered under the name of somebody. Every land is registered under the name of someone. So all this information is captured under the national data system. So tell me, how then are you going to be corrupt? So all this while we have been talking about, these institutions will only work with the data. When you have this data system, you now give information to national security. You now give information to Ghana Customs. You give information to BNI. You give information to Ghana Card. You give information to voters ID card. What do you call it? EC. Everybody will now. You have a data framework that can give now information to every institution. So how are you going to be corrupt? I know your salary. I know how much you earn. I know where you live. I know your phone number. I know your household. I know your land. Whether you are a student or you are not working. Whether you have a bank account or not. We have that information. How else are you going to be corrupt? How are you going to steal government money? You understand? The only loopholes allowed for anybody to be able to do something is the informal sector, where people can do businesses and earn more profit without it being captured. That is the only loophole that will only be allowed. And even that, once you take money from the accounts, it shows. Are you getting what I'm saying? So corruption in Ghana is very easy to tackle. Data and mindset. You don't need anything. National data system, we will capture everybody. There are so many countries that are, look at Dubai, go to Dubai. 0.00 level of corruption. You can't walk into the country with money and they don't know how much money you have. Your accounts is monitored. Your movement is monitored. Your details is monitored. Your bank accounts is monitored. Everything you do is done. Here, we don't monitor anything. We don't have, as all of you here, we don't have a data of you. Nobody has your data. Whether you earn salary or not, we don't have. Whether you are working or not, we don't know. Ghana government doesn't know. How can you run a country like this and expect to fight corruption? How are you going to fight corruption? Because you don't have the institutional framework to fight corruption. So once you don't have the institutional framework to fight corruption, whatever things you say is just propaganda. It's just what do you call a banana economy. That's it. Government doesn't know any of you. If I kill your name, I don't have your information. I don't know where you work. I don't know where you sleep. I don't know what you do. I don't know how much money is in your account. I don't know whether you have a house or you are living in an uncompleted building or you are living in a house. Nobody has that information. We cannot live in a country like this. And once we have this data system, look, the economy will boom, Ghanaians will live a better life, society will change, things will become much, much, much better.
On the pledge against corruption is premised or grounded on the fact that we have done this fight individually, but we have not received should yield to all of us, and this has shown in the continuous pick each and every day on various exposés that have come up. People give us manifestos at the end of their 10 years. You do not see much happen. So the thinking is that if we come together, identify not as civil society actors individually, but as citizens of Ghana who are interested in the progress of this nation, coming together, requesting or demanding of our leaders that they should make commitments to the fight against corruption, very pronounced, proactive, and very clear commitments that we believe have the potential, if well implemented, to give us the dividends we are requesting. So the pledge against corruption is by civil society actors, by some Ghanaian individuals, experts, academics, and also private sector actors. So it goes beyond just civil society, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, and maybe the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition. It is for all of us. And it seeks to ask, the pledges are twofold. One, that the citizen is also allowed to make a commitment or pledge against corruption, that they would hold accountable everyone who is voted into power. And they would make it so loud that the people who are there on our behalf do the right things. So I have pledged against corruption, and I believe that you will also do so. We also requesting that our leaders or those who are candidates now take the pledge that when they come, they will pass the asset declaration regime, which is the COPO now, the Conduct of Public Officers Bill, and make the Conduct of Public Officers Bill, which has 3 key elements: asset declaration, we also have conflict of interest, and then the gift policy. They would make this regime robust to guide public sector behavior or public office behavior. Again, they will make our procurement processes very clear, very transparent, that no procurement would go unwatched and not through the gift means, that the GANEPs which has been developed would be utilized every time. This is very important because it has been documented that almost about 85% of procurement does not go through the tests if you want to quantify what is happening. So it doesn't meet the standard. So we need to ensure that, and also knowing that procurement is the basis of most of the corruption we see in our society. We also asking them to commit to a constitutional review process that will help us all ensure that governments are working with not the exclusivity of power that is currently being given to the executive presidency. We believe that in doing that, people who are appointed will have the independence to execute their mandate without fear or favor.